Louise. What is up, everybody? Today is a huge day. Today we are doing the headers on the K24 swapped E30. All that in today's episode. My name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Let's get into it. So today is a huge day. As you guys can see, I have not unboxed the headers yet because I was waiting to get my initial impressions and look of the headers for today's video. It's gonna be a quick, easy install. At least that's what we're hoping for. So it should be pretty simple. We'll just kind of slap the headers in, but let's take a look at them. So there are two main companies on the market, and that's going to be K-Power Industries and Toge Factory, so TF Works, and both of them are great companies. You guys have seen me order parts from both companies, but the reason why I went with this one specific is for two reasons. One of them is going to be the price. It is a little bit cheaper than the Toge Factory one, and as well as it's a bit more simple. And for right now, since we are just going naturally aspirated and we will be replacing these in the future, this is the cheapest, best header on the market for a rear wheel drive K-Series. Now let's see this. Ooh. I am very excited. So it looks like it's a two-parter, two-piece setup. Look at that bad boy. You guys can see that it's a nice thick flange, and it has absolute beautiful welds. So yeah, we'll get this this first part hooked up, and then we'll feed the second part, the bottom part, in. So with dyno tuning this setup, they were able to make 230 wheel horsepower out of their K-swapped E30 with very simple mods, everything that I've done. So it's proven. It bolts up to a nice 3-inch setup, so I'll be able to make a full 3-inch exhaust out of here. And it's simple, it works, you know, it'll get the job done. And it's a nice, simple, cheap header. Cheap, relatively speaking. So I'm going to try to put these together before putting it in the car, because I feel like that's going to be better, and then just feed the long end in. We'll see if that actually works or not, so we're going to do that now. I do not want to pop these out because it just took a hot minute to get these in here. Maybe this one. It's probably the closest. Let's see. Ooh, that one's there. I did it for this one. Now this back one isn't quite there, so we're just going to work on these front ones, and then these front three, and then hopefully that will work in the back one. Now another really big pro about this header is that the actual length of it, it helps you minimize the amount of custom pieces that you have to do for creating your own exhaust. I will be doing my own exhaust and kind of creating it out of just pipe. So it means that, you know, I won't have to do any of this. And this actually gets me past the transmission. So it should mean that I will just need a small portion of the exhaust along with the muffler, and then we should be good to go. So I might only need to do a few custom pieces to actually finish the exhaust. So that took 4 absolute ever. But it's on. We worked all the pieces on. One thing that I would recommend is just alternate around the thing, because you know, if you push one side in, it's gonna stretch the other side. So you don't wanna push one side in and stretch the other side. So if you work this side, and kind of just like move it in, if that makes sense. You like that hand movement. So just, you know, work it in, and yeah, I got every bolt just hand tight. Again, you don't want to strip any bolts or do anything like that. So it's in, it's on. Let's check it out. Nice, right? Fancy, fancy. Also, my Link ECU came in. We got the HC20X. We are waiting for a separate video. Today, we're just focusing on the exhaust man. But without further ado, let's get this thing on. How's that? Okay, I don't know what it's hitting on. Give me 1 second. Oh, jeez. Okay, so some of my heat shield underneath the car is actually like bent out. So I'm going to pull the exhaust off. It's just the heat shield, so it's just a bit of aluminum. So I'm just gonna hammer a bit of that out and make sure that it sits flush so that the exhaust isn't touching anything. Much better. I did a second round of persuasion. Nice. So I didn't actually realize this before installing it, but the kit actually comes with 2 extra bolts, and that's to remove the 2 studs on the exhaust manifold and then replace them with bolts. So I'm gonna actually pull this off, do this one more time. I'm so glad that there's only 5 bolts on this exhaust manifold, and it's super easy. So I'm so glad that it is only 5 bolts. I've seen people try to do their LS swap and put headers on their E30 with an LS in it, and it is damn near impossible, and you have to do it on both sides, so this is super easy. I actually didn't need to do it 2 bolts. Easy peasy, just like that. 1 bolt. Oh, just like that. So the correct torque specs are 33 foot-pounds. So one of my favorite parts about the this header is that it actually clears the subframe. So look at that fitment. It doesn't hang down, it doesn't protrude. Here, I'm trying to get a good angle for you guys. But it like tucks perfectly on the E30 chassis because it was actually designed for it. And then you can see that it ends past the transmission. So coming out, it's like halfway through the passenger side doors. But again, this exhaust just looks so pretty, and it was you know, done very well. It's very simplistic, and it'll get the job done. So we're going to add a flex pipe to the end of it because headers normally crack if they don't have some sort of flex in them. So we're gonna add that, that way we don't have any issues, but the E30 is coming more and more together. So what's super nice is the kit actually comes with the other half of the 3-inch exhaust, so I won't actually have to buy this, which is super nice. That saves like 20 bucks. But the E30 is looking great with the new exhaust manifolds. Like I said, I will be wiping that off with isopropyl alcohol before we start it because we don't want any like fingerprints or grease like that will stay in the header forever. So we don't want that to cook in, but honestly, it completes the engine bay so much. Next, we will have the wiring harness. It is ordered and coming in. Today I am going to order the fuel lines, so we will be able to get that routed and run, and then we will be able to fully bolt up the intake manifold. So this is really cruising along. The other things that we need are the VTEC solenoid. We need to swap out a couple of sensors, and that will be pretty easy and cheap and quick, so maybe that in the next video. We also need to get the SPAL fan, and other than that, there won't be a crazy ton more. But what is super exciting is we will be able to cross off the headers today. So looking at this, headers crossed off, link ECU. Crossed off, easy. We'll need to get the VTEC solenoid, the Club Sport harness, which is ordered, so that's good. And then I'm going to order the fuel pressure regulator and the AN lines today. Then it'll just be about fluids, the fuel pump, and then the SPAL fan and the power steering. And then the E30 is done. I did forget to mention the full rest of the exhaust, but we can get the car running before that, so that will be in a future video. But the E30 is really coming together. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Have an amazing day. Peace.